Oh!
Sup, gang?
Sup? Hold on. Let me. I'm sorry. We're getting this. We're doing all sorts of things around here.
Oh man.
But we got all of us here. Look at this. This is great.
Oh,
don't want to see that.
See, we can prove it. We can prove that we're all in the same space. Because I'll be in this camera, and then I was in this camera, but then I'll be in Colton's camera too. But we'll prove to everyone we actually are doing the unsafe thing and being all in the same space.
And
for the last time.
And we licked everyone's hands when we came into the office today.
I have glitter on them from my hand sanitizer, from my Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer.
Is that where the glitter got on my tongue? Okay.
We all licked each other's hands and put them all over the equipment. So we mailed letters to you guys that we licked.
Yeah.
Letter clip.
Well,
Hi, laughing.
we're here, guys, for episode 1 of the Punch Bowl.
Punch Bowl!
Oh, that ham horn is very quiet.
Oh, there it is.
Well, that's also quieter than I wanted it. Sorry, guys. This is my first time. Flashlight.
Who is Gwerfelling Gododin? Is that a new person?
Gwerfelling Godolin. That's a new person. That sounds pretty new to me.
Sup, new person.
Sup, new peeps. Hey, new peeps in the house. All right, let me get Parliament off here.
So what is the Punch Bowl, Colton? What is your elevator pitch for this concept?
Sam.
What?
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh, okay, good.
Y'all, I'm literally in between them. Oh, God.
Welcome to the Punch Bowl, everyone. Now, the Punch Bowl is a new show here at RockPunch that we're going to aim to sort of do around this time period. You guys are witnessing the very first episode right now. And the goal of the Punch Bowl is we're just going to gather around, friends as we are. And we're just going to give a little chitty chat about things going on in the world, our lives, our loves, anything. Take questions from you. This is about interacting with you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you have to add, Sam?
We should have some stuff that we hate. That's fine.
Hey, Sam, look at this.
It can't be all lovey-dovey. It's got to be some...
Oh, you're in Denver? Oh, what's up? I'm from Lakewood originally. My family's all out there.
The D4 logo.
I like how you're...
Do we have a D4 logo?
Don't worry about it. Listen, this is my first time. We're gonna work through some of these kinks. So I'm figuring some of the stuff out. I'm live switching on the fly. So we'll see how this goes.
How's stuff out in Denver? I know that they're getting hit about the same as how we are.
So getting hit. We're getting hit with that COVID.
All I know is that we're like one of the 3 orange states. So
Yeah.
There's like 2 red ones. We have like between 500 and 1,000 cases. Well, there's like the ones that have over 1,000 is just like Seattle and New York, I think now.
Seattle's not a state.
Oh no, where do you work? Well, it's fucking Washington, whatever. I always forget if Seattle's in Washington or Oregon. So
it is.
Did I guess right?
It's in Washington.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Washington,
good.
Seattle, Washington.
All right, I got it right.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah,
one of the greatest cities.
I've never been further north than San Francisco. Maybe ever. Is Scotland further north? I guess it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You've been in New York, too.
Yeah, you've been in New York. What are you talking about?
Is New York further north than San Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess it is. Fine. No, I lied.
Do we need to buy him a globe?
We have one at our house.
I'm concerned about Sam and his geography.
I just forget because it curves. I don't know. I just don't.
Because it
curves.
Yeah.
Shapes are hard.
Well, I've never been to Canada, and I've never been further north than San Francisco on the west coast.
I've been to Canada.
You doing okay with your chair over there?
Yeah.
I accidentally lowered it. I didn't want to. Let's think about what's north of California.
There's so much like screen switching, it's distracting.
Don't pay attention to that.
Colton, Sam and Molly. Me, Sam and Molly, Colton.
Hey, that's for me to worry about, guys. Yeah. That's there for later in the show.
I'm just worried about our like epileptic viewers.
Yeah. Also, audience at home, let us know about how the screen switching works because
Let us know how it works,
Yeah.
because we don't.
Because I can't see it, and we don't trust Colton.
Listen, I'd love to not have to screen switch, but I thought this would be more visually
Did
entertaining
you put
than
them
just.
on hotkeys?
I did. I put them on
Okay,
hotkeys.
good.
Yeah. Listen,
Where-
I made the mistake at first to put so while I was actually chatting with people before the show, I put the hotkey to enter, and so I was sending messages in the chat, and I also had it on the space bar as well.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm learning. I'm getting there. But one day I'm gonna be an old pro by this.
I like where Felling's response about being like a cat. Speaking of which, should we talk about cats?
Well, we've got listen, as you guys
Like a
can
perfect transition.
as you guys can
What you
see
got.
on the docket in our as you can see on the docket, we've got a variety of topics that we're covering today.
There's a docket?
Some of them may include cats. Yeah, it's in our it's down
Where's that
below.
docket?
I did not see the
It's
docket.
in the title.
It's in the doobly-doo.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the. Maybe you should
Here,
check
Mom,
the
I'll
title.
show you the
I
title.
was like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me. I don't
Yeah,
want to know.
well,
yeah.
this will be.
Animal Crossing. Drunk
Don't
Berry.
tell me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Don't tell
don't.
me.
Yeah, what are you doing,
I
Sam?
want to know.
Well, I didn't know she didn't want to know.
She
No, I know.
only said it 6 or 7 times. That's Sam. That's not Sam. That's
I'm
Greg.
not Sam.
Oh, that's
Thank
Sam.
God.
But
No,
Where did the chat go? Fuck. Okay, here.
This is going
this is
swimmingly.
this is
I
great.
love
I
it.
love this. This is awesome.
All right,
Okay.
well, cats.
All right, guys. Let me here. Let me man, I thought I'd be better at this. Let me vamp for a second while I don't want to.
Blah. I want to take up time.
Okay. So, gang,
Oh, jeez.
hachicha.
Cat.
We are currently in the middle of an epidemic.
It's true.
Is this leading into
A
cats?
pandemic.
A
Epidemics are smaller, I think.
Well,
Epidemics are localized, pandemics are global.
I feel like this isn't heading where I think it's heading.
Yeah, unfortunately.
listen, COVID-19 is upon us. It's everywhere. You can't seem to get away from it.
I mean, you just don't leave your house.
Yeah.
As we all sit in the
Follow
studio.
our
Right,
advice.
yes. Don't
Don't
do as
be
we
within
say,
6 feet of each other.
not
Yeah.
as we do.
Actually, we all live in our offices.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cole
we
and I
live
actually
here.
do live together.
I've been
so-
intentionally keeping my door locked more.
so we don't come in and cough on you.
Exactly.
Good. We'll just cough under the door.
Oh God. Just laying on the ground.
Yeah. That's the move.
Cough into a bag, and when you come out, we're just like,
Oh Jesus Christ.
Just throw it out.
Oh God.
All these Ziploc bags hanging from the ceiling outside.
Oh.
All right. COVID-19.
COVID booby traps.
Cool.
COVID. It's
COVID-19.
everywhere. I mean, you can't escape it. You walk out it's not safe to go outside anymore. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Well, I mean, this is Georgia. It wasn't safe to go outside anyway,
In like a month it won't be.
right? Everything will be yellow.
It is all the pollen, which is good because everyone's sneezing more germs out.
Exactly.
But they're not ear infected, so it's good. We're all fine. Everything's fine.
Everyone's staying home. Everyone's working from home as best as they can.
We are going to start next week. This will be our last in-office stream.
Yeah, this might be our last thing we kind of do in office for a minute, I think.
Not me. I'm playing Pokemon on Thursday. I don't care if y'all are at home. Come see me on Thursday.
Oh, you're still going to be here. Okay.
Playing Pokemon.
Greg, I don't know how to break this to you, but
COVID's gonna try to nuzlock me. I'm not gonna let it.
I'm like having trouble talking and like switching at the same time, but it's okay. We'll get used to this. Greg,
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to be there tomorrow.
that's fair.
I'm scared of COVID.
That's fair.
I'm really scared.
I'll bring one of my wife's dress forms and then put like a Colton mask on it, and then I'll be like, "Man, Greg, you really are good at this game." Wow, Colton, thanks for saying so. As I throw my phone on the floor.
it becomes like singing in the rain. We're like sitting together on the couch.
We're still going to try to do shows next week, though, like remotely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abroad.
I know Molly's going to try to do something remotely.
Yes.
I will try to do something
My
remotely.
mom, I just talked to my mom on the phone, and she agreed to stream with me.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So get ready for that.
Is it more Nancy Drew?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me and my mother playing quarantined at home playing Nancy Drew. Get ready.
Oh.
Well, you know what we are going to start doing while we're quarantined at home, what a lot of people across America are going to start doing. You know, you need to stay safe, you need to cuddle up, and you need to watch Cats.
Say? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Molly saw it coming a mile away. But, you know, what better thing to do while you're stuck at home than, you know, you can catch up on all the latest hot releases. Let me tell you, Cats just came out digitally this past Tuesday. Yes, I pre-ordered it. Yes, Sam and I were watching the director's commentary last night.
Oh, man, that director's commentary.
So your question is, what better to do than sit at home and watch Cats?
Watch the director's
Literally fucking anything
I was like,
else.
if there could be a list where just like 1,000 things come up across the screen.
Cutting off your own toes, feeding your own toes to someone else, feeding your toes to you.
How'd you get on feet?
I don't know.
Sam starts on feet.
Cats, there's a lot of feet in cats.
There are a lot of feet in
There's
Cats.
a lot of feet that don't connect with the ground because they didn't fully CG render the ground.
Well, it's funny that you bring up
Feet.
bad CG rendering in Cats.
I know where this is going.
Because I've got a story for you guys. I don't know if you guys heard the latest breaking news about Cats yet.
Oh, God.
All right. So I'm going to pull up here. I want to make sure I get my get my quotes right here.
Buried the lead there, small. I couldn't see it.
There's a tweet that has taken the world by storm. It reads, a VFX producer, friend of a friend, was hired in November to finish some of the 400 effect shots in the Cats movie. His entire job was to remove CGI buttholes that had been inserted a few months before, which means that somewhere out there exists a butthole cut of Cats. Now let me tell you, I'm starting a campaign. Hashtag release the butthole cut.
You're gonna get some strange bedfellows. Like,
I thought you were going to just say release the butthole, and I was like, you got to be more specific.
butthole cut could be a lot of different things.
It could be so many things.
Listen, Greg, you don't seem so thrilled. What's on your mind?
Cats, any version of Cats, is not good.
Yeah, I agree.
The movie, the stage show, it's not good.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's also fucking terrible, but I did enjoy the movie because it's...
Sam, you loved it.
I did really like the movie because it's like watching The Room. It's like watching just an absolute dumpster fire happen in front of you, and it's amazing. It's so entertaining. It's so misguided. It's so wrong. It's so frightening. And the tiny moments of that movie that, like, for a second work are so surprising that you're like, what the fuck? But it's buried in the midst of this, like, absolute fucking horror movie.
Let me tell you guys about my
silliness.
childhood.
And it's great, and it's worth watching.
Let me tell you guys about my childhood real quick. So I went to a performing arts school for musical theater when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're young and in school, one of the only things you can watch, one of the only musical appropriate things you can watch is Cats for some reason. So I watched Cats maybe 2 or 3 times a year in musical theater school.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I would kill myself.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't joke about that, but I would not show up.
Listen. I have studied Cats in depth.
Not as in-depth as your butthole guy.
I mean, I studied Cats in school, and I'm here to tell you, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's
But
bad.
But bad things are really fun to watch. Like, whether it's like Super Mario Brothers or...
There's so many good musicals, though. There's so many good ones.
Yeah,
and then there's Cats.
And there are
Cats
things
also
there are things that are so bad that they're fun to watch.
Which is Cats.
Cats is not fun
But
to
you
watch.
haven't seen
No.
the movie. Have you seen the movie? Because I've never seen the play. I have no interest in going to see the musical. It seems way too not something I'd be like into. But Cats is like so bizarre. I don't know. It was so fun to watch. It was awesome. Like, it was terrible and awesome.
I can't.
And watch the director's commentary when you
I can't
hear
either.
how sad Todd Hooper sounds because he just like...
I need you to go back. I need you to put on your jazz shoes for a second. sit in your dance studio with your little TV up in the corner with all your friends and watch Cats for the 8,000th time during that
hardcore.
FCAT week when they were staggering schedules.
Doesn't sound great.
Sounds wonderful.
That is true that, like, this was my first exposure to the musical or anything to do with Cats. So I think a lot of, like, the top to bottom insanity, like, the stupidity of the fact that it was written, the fact that it's
The fact that
nothing,
it exists
the
at
fact that it
all.
exists, the fact that, like, it's so horny without being horny, but then I think it's clearly
It's pretty
meant to be
horny.
It's pretty horny.
The stage show is, I think, even hornier.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could it be hornier? Maybe.
Well, as someone who has seen the stage show, let me tell you.
yeah,
Oh,
Colton's the
God.
only person here who's actually seen both of them.
So in the stage show, the cats actually like jump
know,
off
they
the
touch
stage
you.
at one point,
Yeah.
and they run and they get in the audience and they get like in your face. Let me tell you, that's better than any 3D you could ever get. That is going to be the next evolution of the Midnight movie.
They do that at the Complete Works of William Shakespeare,
Something.
too. And let me tell you, that is an enjoyable play.
But what's more fun, having goddamn Tybalt come and get it in your face, or
I don't know.
He's
See,
probably
to me-
dead by that point.
to
Have you
me-
seen the Complete Works of William Shakespeare?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it's all satire.
Oh,
It's like
It's
all
all a
of them
big
smushed
joke.
together.
Yeah, it's like all the Complete Works of William Shakespeare smushed together in like an hour and a half play.
That sounds fun.
I was not familiar with that.
It's hilarious, yeah.
Cod pieces for William Shakespeare or for Cats, because both are probably applicable.
Cod pieces for
Cod
all.
pieces for all.
Oh.
Welcome, Strike, to the party.
Inaugural Punch Bowl.
Yeah,
Punch
the
Hype.
inaugural Punch Bowl. We've got Strike, we've got Grolf, and of course,
I don't
laughing.
know.
My
My whole
mom.
thing is, I was someone who we spent like all of September. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
What? No, go ahead.
Well, I spent all of like fall dreading having to see Cats and how much I was gonna hate it and like all this sort of stuff. And then like truly, it is a dumpster fire of a movie. Like it is so fucking bizarre. It is so unimaginably like bizarre, but you can't do anything but watch it and just like shriek with like an emotion that eventually becomes glee. And
So,
like,
so you're saying Cats is like the chemicals that created the Joker.
yeah, that's actually a really good way to explain watching Cats. It's like agony and it's all wrong, but eventually somehow you come out smiling, but you're not sure if it's healthy. Yeah, all I can say is go watch it. It's a fun. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. It's so wrong. It's such a stupid idea. It's such a dumb thing that anyone ever spent $150 million on, which they did spend $150 million on, top to bottom. And the fact that like the weird thing is like we have no way of knowing if that tweet is real, that they actually put buttholes on the cats, but like based on how absurd and misguided the rest of that movie is, they probably put buttholes on the cats at some
I
point
think
and then decided not to.
I just remember when the trailer came out, people were pissed that there weren't buttholes on the cats.
I was upset when I watched the movie. Sam, what was one of the things I said to you? I said it was upsetting that the cats did not have genitalia or
But it would
buttholes.
also be upsetting if they did.
Absolutely true.
So it's kind
Well-
of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I would say less damned if you don't. By getting rid of the buttholes was probably the right choice.
I think the better part of that tweet was actually the part not read that said finding the cut of this movie was his white whale.
Yeah, Colton, that's Colton's whole thing.
I want the butthole cut.
Yeah, but I mean, the real like if you back it up to where the wrong decision was made, because I agree that like neither
The decision to make the movie.
the decision to make the movie, and then even further than that, the decision to have them be CGI half-human monster things that like are naked. And there's also decisions in which like sometimes the cats just like take off their own skin and there's other skin underneath. And
Yeah,
it's
Judi
terrifying.
Dench in that movie wears a coat made of cat,
Yeah,
which
it's
Seth
all
Rogen
terrible.
pointed out. That's probably
It's all
That's
terrible.
fucked up.
It's all terrible. And then there also is like just the fact that like Idris Elba for the beginning is like wearing clothes, like he's a cat but he's wearing like people clothes, and then at some point he makes a very deliberate decision to like take his people clothes off, and so then it's like the cat isn't naked but it's naked. Like it feels
He's naked.
and it feels very upsetting that this naked Idris Elba furry sim is walking around with like barely, just like a lump where genitals should be, so it's like a little bit of something.
like
but
a
it's not
Ken
actual
doll,
genital.
a furry
Yeah,
Ken
or like
doll.
in The Sims, like, you know, when you were a little kid and you would find a way to turn off the little sensor blocks, and then it turns out they're just Ken dolls underneath. That's what I did as a kid.
wow.
We were allowed. The Sims was a big drama in our household. of like we got in a lot of trouble.
Speaking of The Sims, I recently learned. Okay, well, let me back up. My wife recently learned the real title to the Black Eyed Peas song "Let's Get It Started"
Is
"Let's Get the R Word."
It's not great.
Sam's just going to throw it out there.
No, I'm quoting something else. I don't know.
I recently learned during that conversation with my wife that there is a Simlish, like the language that they speak in The Sims.
Yeah.
There is a Simlish version called Legeatada.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's horrifying.
Sim versions of songs are always terrifying. There was a Sim version of 1, 2, 3, 4, Tell Me That You Love Me More by Feist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a cute
There's
song.
a Sim version of it.
You know,
It's
Katy
terrifying.
Perry recorded a song. I don't remember which song, but she recorded it, of course, in English. But she also recorded the Simlish version.
Really?
Yeah, she recorded it actually in Simlish.
Man, Sims is a weird phenomenon.
Oh man, we got people in the chat.
Is Skywalker...
Skywalker's-
Oh, my is here. I didn't
Yeah,
see.
she's in and out. Cat buttholes are two like banana slices.
Please explain.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to explain that
You
one.
don't want to slip on one?
True. Eat one? Either?
Hey,
I don't
on.
eat banana peels.
Oh, your
Oh,
banana.
slices. Slices. I don't like bananas either, so...
I like bananas. Bananas are good.
I was told I wasn't supposed to eat bananas as a little kid because they made my bowels not work. So then I stopped eating them and now I don't like them. And that's my sob
What?
story about bananas.
But bananas are supposed to make your bowels work better. They've got potassium.
But the doctor told me to stop eating them.
Potassium.
Potassium.
Potassium. We're talking a lot of butt stuff today.
Hey, it's in the header.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know. I just want more people to watch Cat. I want more people to understand how fucking insane it is.
Well,
Because what other movie is that misguided and cost that much money? Like, there's not a lot. Like, truly, it's
Super Mario Brothers,
It
yeah.
didn't cost $150 million though. It didn't
In
lose.
90s money?
Yeah, if we adjust for inflation.
Really? Was it that much?
Hold on, I'm gonna do some research while y'all talk. Get me on.
How
My
much
guess
did-
is adjusted for inflation. It's like a 40.
How much did the live action Garfield cost?
Well, I think the live action Garfield made money because they made a second.
Waterworld people in the chat are saying. People
Yeah,
are saying
Waterworld was a
Waterworld.
big
They're
one.
saying Ishtar. I don't know if Ishtar... Did Ishtar really cost that much?
But and Cats probably lost Universal like $120 million, which is insane. It's insane that anyone gave that concept a chance to lose that much money. This is such a bad idea.
I'm glad they did it. Look at
I
this.
mean, I'm glad we got to see it. And I don't give a shit if massive film conglomerates are losing money on stupid ideas, but.
Sam, Universal is our sponsor. Careful.
We have to be owned by one of them. There's still a Waterworld ride at Universal.
No, there's not.
There was when I went there last, which was
Okay.
like 4 years ago.
So Super Mario Brothers cost $48 million to make in 1993.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so maybe I am wrong.
Adjusted for inflation, that is almost $87 million.
Still less than Cats, though.
Still about a little over half of Cats.
That's an absurdly bad budget.
Guys, inflation's really bad, y'all.
Yeah.
They actually think right now. We don't need to get into it.
What
They
was the
actually
other one?
think
Live action Garfield.
if inflation is too low, it can be a problem. Though they want to aim for 2%. And right now, we're actually lower than we should.
Sam's our local economist.
I'm trying to understand more about economic stuff. I don't yet, but I'm trying.
He doesn't.
I failed economics.
Me
The
too.
Mario Bros. Film was as late as '93.
Yeah, it was in 1993.
I thought it was later than that.
Yeah, it was 93. It was the same year as Jurassic Park. Can you believe that?
And
2
s-
dinosaur movies, one year.
Sam Squatch Sam. Sam.
Oh, Sammy's in. Sam Squatchzilla. Strike saw it in theaters and bought over 5 copies on DVD. Guess what, Strike? I've also bought over 5 copies of Super Mario Bros. On DVD, and I have photographic evidence of it. So I'll have to dig that picture up
I
somewhere.
wonder if over time that movie eventually became profitable. There's no way.
Oh,
No.
it did because of me.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
What did?
The Super Mario Brothers
Oh,
movie.
I have on VHS and DVD copies of the movie Hackers, which is
Oh,
one
fuck.
of my favorite movies of all time.
I've heard of it.
I've never seen it.
We're gonna have to have a watch party.
That's got
It's-
Angelina Jolie, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Angelina Jolie. Now my mind is blanking. Shit. What's her name from The Sopranos?
I never watched Sopranos.
Me either. Shit. As soon as I put it in my mind, I lost who everyone in the movie was.
Chat, who's in Hackers?
Quick. Fake fan, yeah. I
Johnny
know,
Lee
right?
Miller says someone.
It's Johnny Lee Miller, thank you. As Zero Cool.
Johnny Lee Miller.
Mess with the best, die like the rest.
That's right. And then the guy who was the bad guy.
Matt Lillard?
No, Matthew Lillard's also in it. He plays a serial killer, and if I ever get to meet him, based on some of the things that we've been doing, I'm gonna get my copies of Hackers signed by Matthew Lillard.
Copies, there you go.
The guy who is the villain, who goes by the Plague.
Oh no.
He is also in Super Mario Brothers. He's one of the two nitwit kind of.
Oh, the Super Koopa cousins.
Yes.
I can't get it open.
The one with the longer
Fisher-Stevens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, I'm just really shit with names when I'm put on the spot in front of cameras. Don't put me on a game show.
Well.
Thank you, Strike, for helping with the names, and Sam Squatchzilla. Yeah.
What have you bought multiple copies of, maybe?
What have I bought multiple copies of?
Do you have any movies you bought multiple copies of?
No.
No?
Nope.
Do you good at not losing them?
You will.
I have never
lost
a copy of Mario Brothers. You watch your tongue.
Or wreck the version.
Clue.
I think I've owned several versions of the first Pirates of the Caribbean, at least 3 or 4.
Why?
Because I've watched them so many.
Because it's a great movie, Greg.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just. Why do you
just
need more than one copy of that?
Because normally I buy it and I think I watched it to the point that I broke it, or I brought it to my cabin and then I was like, oh, I want to watch this at home now and it's the cabin, so I bought another one. I lent it to a friend.
Sam has that cabin life he's got to worry about. You know, it's like he's got multiple homes. You know.
Yeah.
I wish I was there now.
I don't typically purchase films so much as acquire them.
Well then.
I don't buy movies anymore because you can find everything just rentable, which is nice.
Yes. Rentable.
I was broke in college once, I understand.
We are currently in the middle of a pandemic that has every movie theater in the country shut down.
They're all shut down?
They're all shut down.
Yeah,
AMC shut down.
Yeah, most places you're not allowed to have more than 50 people in a place.
Yeah.
They say it's 10.
Less for a lot of other places. You can't go inside of a Chick-fil-A right now.
That's true.
That's true.
Drive-through. It's kind of nice. They're very fast.
Yeah.
I just went through it just now. Well, this is better. Sad I can't go in the play place, but...
Sam.
You have to be less than this high.
See,
wait, you are.
There's a funny version of that joke that's just if I was just a weird person that liked hanging out in play places, but then there's a bad version, a weirder version if it's if you like being in the play place while kids are in there.
I don't think that there's much of a distinction.
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I was saying I shouldn't have made a joke in the first place. The joke I was going for was instead I'm just someone who really likes eating in the little tube things.
What if you could
live that hamster life?
Yeah, that's the wholesome version of this joke, which is what I was going for.
What if you could get drunk and go and play in one of those?
I want to get drunk and go to one of those trampoline places with the ball pits. Not ball pits, foam pits.
Yeah, the big foam.
Well, I don't know if I want to get drunk because drunk. Sloshing.
Yeah, up and down, side to side, while maybe drunk is probably
some other recreational
flying vomit.
Yeah, maybe some other recreational activity that does not make you nauseous beforehand.
So not cats.
No, I meant just. I said not alcohol. I didn't need to go too far into it.
Well,
those ninja workplaces are fun though.
What if I told you guys a little story here?
All about how?
All about who? What?
Is that all about how?
My life got
flipped.
Turned upside down. So I'd like to take a minute. Just sit right there. And I'll tell you guys.
How I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
About how this bear drank 36 beers at a campground.
What a bear.
I could have done that better.
Did the bear
Yeah,
get
there was
drunk?
a way to make bear the last word in this.
Yeah,
About how
sit
36
right there.
beers were drunk by a bear.
There you go.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Sam's better rapper.
Nailed it in one. Don't count.
Okay, guys. So I'm talking about Baker Lake, Washington. We've all been there. I've been there.
Clearly, Sam's never been.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Further
Sam's never been
north than
further
San
north than
Francisco.
San Francisco.
Never been further north
Except
than
for
Georgia.
all those times that he has.
Except for New York and Scotland, but those are actually on the
In
southern
Colorado, I
side.
think.
Yeah.
The
Colorado
curve makes
is
a
not
difference, you
further.
guys.
The curve-
The curve makes a difference.
Sam's just trying to flatten that curve.
Flatten every curve.
Sam's not only a flat covider, he's a flat earther.
Moyer Woods. Oh yeah, there you go. Flatten that curve too. There's never been a curved surface ever.
So-
Otherwise.
Alright, so
What's Muir Woods?
almost
Muir-
all of Colorado is north of San Francisco.
Wait, really? Oh, wow. I grew up in northern Colorado, so yeah. There you go.
Anyway, I didn't mean to call you out like that.
Apparently I'm just very wrong about how north I assume San Francisco is. I want to draw a map of where I assume
We should.
geographically.
Sam, for the next episode, I want you to come to class prepared with
draw
your
a map of
with
the
your
United
map
States.
of the United States. Yeah,
You should make him
It
draw
has to be a map
live
of the
with
whole
no
world.
reference.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
it has to be a map of the whole world because
That's.
it's at least the Western Hemisphere.
I think we should just start simple with like the
country.
contiguous U.S.
Oh, I've never been across the Golden Gate Bridge. I made it halfway across, and then my friend and I
And
got
It's
Maybe
too far
gave
north.
I don't like it's too far north. I've never been this far from home, Mr. Frodo.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about this bear.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Baker Lake, Washington. State Fish and Wildlife agents found a black bear. Now, if you're familiar with The Office and
That
Dwight
bear is
Schrute,
best.
it is the best bear, is what we've learned. Black bears are pretty big bears, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
they're not that
They're
big.
not
They're
that
actually the
big.
smallest ones.
Well, it shows how much I
Besides,
know
like,
about
panthers.
bears. Point is, this bear found a campsite, got into the coolers, and drank 36 cans of Rainier Bear.
How do you open the
A beer.
How do you
Beer.
How did he open the can?
Probably shotgunned him.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, what was his method of entry?
I'm sure that bear was just like, like Greg said, shot you like, just like
Is that better?
chomped the top off, probably swallowed some of that tin, and then just like guzzled them down. What's up, Evan?
No, I'm just listening to this bitch.
Welcome. But there was something
Are the
else.
three of y'all still here?
Hmm?
Okay. I'm
There-
gonna step out for 1 second.
Okay. Molly will be back. But there was also in this cooler a whole bunch of Bush brand
He
beer.
wouldn't drink that.
The bear drank one and then left all the rest.
So does that mean he knew the difference, like, in coloring of what they looked like?
I don't know.
Bush is extremely clear. Like it's.
Well, no, I mean like the cans.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
did the bear know the difference in the cans?
Well, Bush beer is like a blue can, I think. I don't drink.
What do you
shit
think that the
beer.
bears might like, depending on like the color of the can?
alright, so let
Okay,
me.
yeah. So Bush would be like blue, and Rainier, you said was the other one.
Yeah, Rainier.
Rainier is
Stop kicking things around,
white
Sam.
with
It's
with a giant red R on it.
So maybe there was like a clear coloring difference I could tell.
Yeah, it tried the blue one.
Or
Was
maybe
like,
that was
fuck
just
that.
like in one cooler and it's like, nah, fuck this, man. So my whole thing, the reason I bring this up is I feel like, I've had problems before where I've had like comical misjudgments of bears' intelligence, which sounds more interesting than it actually
I
is.
think you spent too much time watching a certain Jellystone National Park.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think they're that good at picnic basket stealing. But so it was when I was working in Telluride. So Telluride is like it's up in the mountains, so they have like a ton of bears. So they had they have these special trash cans and like dumpsters everywhere that are like bear proof. So basically, you have to like reach under and like release this like clasp to like get the trash can open. It's like a heavy metal lid till you do that. And so they have pictographs for like how to like open the trash can thing. That's like, you know, it shows you like how to put your hand in. It's not written out. And I don't remember if I was tired or something one day, but I saw it and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, they can't use the pictograph because now the bear's gonna know how to open it. Because I just had this like quarter-second assumption that I did, unfortunately for me, say out loud, in which I forgot that like I was like, well, they should have just written it out because bears can't read. But I did have a momentary assumption that was like, oh, but bears could understand pictographs. And if the bear knows the color of the beer cans, maybe I wasn't that far off. But I do know that yeah, bears probably can't read pictographic images telling them how to open trash cans. That is a real thing that happened.
I can't believe you just admitted live to an audience that you were that big of an idiot.
This was about 2 years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago.
It would have been better if you said 3. It would have been bad, but
This was 2016. Yeah.
It's 4 years ago now.
That was 4 years ago? Alright, so it was 4 years ago.
and he can't count.
Yep. And the Bears probably can come better than I can. But yeah.
How many beers have I had? Holy shit.
So also, another thing I was trying to think. Alright, so a black bear weighs probably like 300 or 400 pounds. 36 beers.
4.5% ABV for the Rainier.
Okay, so normal beer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
it's
like
not like a heavy beer, like
I'm trying to think of
like a dogfish head or something.
So what was the condition of the bear when they found it?
Drunk
Passed
off.
out.
Yeah, drunk off its fucking
Was it
ass.
passed out?
It was passed out. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was gonna say
It drank
36 beers for something like 3 times my weight. That'd be like me drinking 13 beers.
Was it a
I'd be passed. I don't know if I'd be dead. I'd be passed out.
Was it a
But
male
also-
or a female bear?
That's a good question, and I don't know if I know the answer to that.
But also, like, do bears'
do
livers
some
like
research.
metabolize toxins as well as human livers do? There's reason to think they might not.
Do they say?
They say
Yeah.
they refer to the bear as his claws.
Okay.
So
What does the article say about?
Adult American black bears typically weigh close to 500 pounds.
Oh wow. So he probably just had a good amount of nap beer, like a good drunk nap.
well, it napped and then it woke up and they shoot it away, but the bear apparently came back the next day.
Oh no, he's
where
on
the beer
soft
is?
now. Yeah.
And so they finally trapped it. They got a bear trap, which I guess is a big trap.
They had a cardboard box with a stick and a can of beer.
Too far off.
Did they bait it with beer?
They baited it with donuts
So okay.
and beer.
Wait, really?
Yes.
No shit. Holy shit.
Was this just a cop in a bear outfit?
Yeah. Wait, they really baited it with more beer.
Yes,
That's
here. Let me double check my sources here.
I have the second stupidest bear story on this podcast.
Donuts. I'm sorry, honey, and 2 open cans of Rainier.
Oh, okay. Of course, honey. It's got to be
What's
honey.
up, Evan? Is Evan sitting in now?
Yeah.
This is intern Evan, everybody.
What's up, Evan?
What's up?
I want to make this this name tag go away for now because
I heard we were talking about bears, and
We
it's
are
like
talking about bears.
obviously bears beats
Battlestar
Battlestar
Galactica.
We started on that because it's a black bear, and we said that is the best bear.
See,
That's best
Yeah.
bear.
He gets it.
I'm glad you guys have that established already.
Hey, everyone in the chat saying hey to Evan. Chat, what do you guys think about this bear story?
I'm confused as to how Battlestar Galactica got involved.
It's a quote from The Office.
Oh, okay.
That's Dwight's 3 favorite things.
Dwight's 3 favorite things.
I do not like.
Steve Carell.
No, not him. I love Steve Carell. I hate the guy who plays Dwight.
Rainn Wilson?
Yeah.
Why do we hate him?
I didn't say we hate him. I said I hate him.
Greg speaks for us all, Royal we.
So, go ahead.
I like Rainn Wilson, but I haven't seen him in that much else. I liked him in that movie Super when he just hits people with a wrench.
He was in Megalodon.
Was that like
The
a?
Meg?
Was that like a?
Yeah, the Meg.
Oh, he was in the Meg. Yeah,
He was in the Meg?
yeah, he was in the Meg. He was like the scientist
I
dude.
think I was about as drunk as that bear when we saw that movie.
We were pretty trashed when we saw the Meg.
I wasn't Venom
Let's get a little more this way, Evan.
I wasn't Venom drunk.
Go out that way.
Other way.
Yeah, so you can
And
see
just
the
be
thumb.
careful with the camera behind you there.
I wasn't Venom drunk, but I was.
Venom.
but
I don't think I've
was
ever been
Meg.
Venom drunk.
Venom drunk
I can't
was a
do that ever
one-time
again.
thing. That was. That was extremely
I saw Venom sober and enjoyed it immensely.
I saw it drunk,
I
and
did
I
too.
loved the 6 minutes that I remember from it.
The 6 minutes. I'm not
It was a
old enough to be
6-minute
that
comedy where Tom Hardy falls in the fish tank, and that's all I remember.
And then at the end, the girl was like, "I'm sorry about Venom."
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
It's like the last scene of the movie, and his girlfriend's like, "I'm sorry about Venom."
yeah, because they make you think that Venom like died or something. Spoilers for Venom, sorry guys. But Strike says, I think drive-in movies should consider a how drunk should I be to see this meter. That's not a bad idea. You know, actually
We've
Wait,
done drunk.
no, driving and drinking.
You're right.
Yeah, no driving, drink.
But
Well,
Venom was our test episode.
Venom was actually
And we
fun.
decided we couldn't air it. We had someone else drive. We were safe.
Yeah, we didn't drive.
We
to
were
it.
but like, holy
condone
shit, that was
driving.
incomprehensible nonsense. Like,
Looking
maybe
through
we'll
that-
release it someday, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, back when we were starting up
pretty
driving
bad.
movies, that was the first.
Did you like Uber there or something?
We
had a
had
friend drive
we had a
Oh,
friend
okay,
drive.
okay. Because you knew you were not going to be sober.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the
we
plan.
drank in the car.
I don't think we drank in the car.
Please don't say that.
We did not drink in the car.
Yeah, we didn't drink.
Because we're not idiots.
Well, we
Sam
drank-
might be that kind of idiot.
We drank
but
before
I'm
we
not.
got there, and then we got more drinks when we were there.
Yeah, because they have a bar at our AMC. But yeah, we had a friend drive us, and that was going to be the first episode.
Because they're all
The
close.
first episode driving movies, and
There's got to be a release of that someday.
I don't know where the footage is.
the footage live. We have the footage still.
Still
Live,
do?
yeah, it lives on our space.
I remember thinking, I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. Then I watched it. I was like, yeah, we should record another one. It's pretty bad.
And the other thing was, like, I literally could not remember anything about the movie. I remember some flashes of the beginning, but then, like, man, the people were telling me stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, and then there's Lady Venom at a point, and also something like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah,
what?
I liked the movie, but you didn't miss like a blockbuster film.
Well, I saw it. I ended up seeing it again in theaters, and I was still intoxicated. So yeah, I've never seen Venom sober, but the second time I was able to remember it better.
I've never seen Frozen sober.
Stay that way.
I enjoyed it. Both
I
Can
like
we
it.
not talk about
It's the
I
reason
will
you're
go on an
alive.
hour-long rant of all of the things that are wrong with that movie.
Frozen is
We
Greg's
just-
favorite.
I don't
movie.
First on the
Yeah.
list, let it go.
I just remember
let that
Olaf.
song go.
I just remember Olaf's song is really funny. That's the only thing I remember from that movie. The one where he's like, what happens in spring? And you're like, oh, you're going to die, bro.
It's in summer,
It's pretty
you
funny.
plebe.
Oh. Is it summer?
Yeah.
Okay, you would know. You have kids.
Yeah, Greg,
Oh,
how
you
many times
saw-
have you heard that song? Estimate.
Well, well, I don't know if this is thankfully, but like, when you have kids, a lot of times their attention span doesn't last, when they're very young, their attention span doesn't last through the whole movie.
Mhm.
So you end up seeing the first 35 minutes of a movie a million times.
Yeah.
And then the whole movie maybe like 5 or 6.
Mm.
So unfortunately, that song, which is the best song in the entire film, I've only seen it. Well, no, it's the second best song. I apologize. The opening song is the best song, but the What Happens in Summer song is the second best. And I have not seen that as much as I've seen the rest of the film. But like, I've just stopped talking about Frozen. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
We just saw Tangled. I just saw Tangled for the first time.
Yeah, Sam saw Tangled for the first
is
time.
a wonderful film.
It's great. I loved it. It was wonderful. I really liked it. I cried. Not gonna lie.
I really like the tiny porcelain
Unicorn thing. That little callback was great when she sees it in the prison cell before everyone comes in, and then the little animal friends, the two best animal friends.
Yeah,
Very
Pascal
good.
and Maximus, of
Pascal
course.
and Maximus, of course.
They're pretty funny.
I'm one of those people that like I'll nitpick the heck out of a children's film.
Yeah.
So it's like why is it like at first the horse was like hell bent on like stopping him from robbing the castle. Like the horse is like the bad guy, and then like midway through the horse is just like, I'm starting to like you, and it's just like,
Well,
you're a horse.
it was the girl. It was Rapunzel.
She didn't
Rapunzel
even
wanted
like trick the horse
She didn't
into
do a
liking
lot.
them.
She
She
didn't
was
do
just
a lot. I
she just
agree.
petted him, and then the horse is like, okay, I like you, but I don't like the dude. And then
The
like
one-
something happened to the dude, and he was just like, okay. So
That
it was
horse is
funny.
chivalrous.
There was
Yeah.
one thing. There was
Horse
one.
had seen the wanted poster.
There was one thing about that I even said, I think, out loud when I was like, when I can't remember someone was saying, it's like, oh, did your owner mistreat you? It was like, seemed like you had a good bond with that owner.
Yeah.
I remember he's like, "Go, Maximus, we got him now," and I'm like, "Oh, you're establishing like you respect the horse and your connection." So that is something I picked up on too, Evan. I will admit.
This
is Evan.
Yeah, this is Evan. Evan, the intern.
Also, laughing says #Greg's not mad, just disappointed. No, I'm fucking furious. I am fucking furious at the movie.
There was
as
a
a parent, that's the
scene
worst
in
thing you
Cars
can
2.
say to a child. That's how you get them to like really take you for real.
Not mad, I'm just
I'm not mad. I'm just
disappointed.
that's even worse.
No, I'm fucking furious.
Because I think it's like when it's disappointed, it feels like you can't do anything to fix it.
Exactly.
I like that someone here's brought up the Cars 2 has the torture scene because it does. It's not just a torture. They killed
They killed that guy.
They kill a man.
That movie was rated G for some reason, but Cars 1 was rated PG because they said hell once.
And
Cars 2
had-
has straight up murder in
And
it.
that tramp stamp in Cars.
Sam, are you attracted to that car?
He's in the
I'm saying why it was rated PG.
Tramp stamp and hell PG. Straight up murder.
I don't
Fun
remember
for the whole
Cars
family.
2.
The only thing, see the funny thing with Cars
Mater's
2,
a super spy. It's got Michael Caine.
Lightning becomes a secondary character to his own story.
Yeah, it's super true.
vaguely remember Cars
Bruce
2.
Campbell is the car that gets murdered.
I vaguely remember the murder scene in Cars 2, but you know what I mix it together with my head as? Which you guys can tell me how accurate it is. I mix it up with the scene where he gets hit in the balls in Casino Royale. That torture scene. For some reason, those like merge together in my head. I don't know why.
You do know one of those movies is not real people.
Yeah, but I mean like the tension,
The setting and all that
feeling of it
stuff.
and Because I remember it was fucked up.
How do they torture a car?
So it was actually.
You can't hook up a car battery to it.
So what they did was because the evil villain. Listen, I've seen Cars 2 a number of times.
Spoiler alert on Cars.
Spoiler alert for Cars 2.
Excuse me.
Eddie Izzard, I think, is the voice of the villain in that movie. It was either Eddie Izzard or it was Ricky Gervais, but I'm pretty sure it was Eddie Izzard. And his like whole evil plan is he's trying. Okay, this movie's not aged well. His whole evil plan is to try and get the world to switch over to something called All in All. That's a more environmentally friendly fuel alternative. But the thing is, All in All, whenever the cars like ingest it and stuff, once their like rotations per minute or something hit a certain threshold, it causes it to combust and it blows up all the cars. And so in this one scene, they fill Bruce Campbell up with it, and they make him. They put like a thing under him to make his tires go. Yeah, to make him like get going. And then he ends up exploding, and he's dead.
Jesus.
So basically, like imagine somebody shining like a really bright light at your blood, and your blood boils, and you just explode.
That's fine.
That's that.
That is exactly what happens there.
Family friendly.
But
Yeah.
why?
Because Disney.
Because it's like a James Bond.
No.
It's like a James Bond.
Yeah, like Cars 2 is like Fast and Furious. They went from racing to secret spy
James
stuff,
Bond
saving the
sort of thing,
world
yeah.
type thing.
I don't understand the movies where like the bad guy wants to. Their plan will literally kill everyone. Like,
but it's making him money. That's the whole thing. Like he wants
but then
everybody
everyone
to
will
switch
be
over.
dead, and the
No.
money will have no purpose.
No. If they only die, it becomes like in direct contact. Because that's like a thing.
That's
they
right.
have like this beam that like they shine directly at you. That's
Okay,
what
so
makes you like boil
there's a
up.
way to trigger.
Yeah.
So they can
So then it's like
blackmail
holding
anyone.
everyone hostage.
Yeah, and it was also something that like he wanted to get alternative fuels like off the market to incentivize like
people actually buying real fuel.
Yeah, something like he had like listen, it's Cars 2.
So
I don't
basically,
know.
what happened with the electric car in the 1910s?
I kind of remember that.
They're-
Like,
It sounds like dirty on
Electric
paper.
cars were more popular, and then people figured out that they could make more money off of fossil fuels. So people lobbied the government to push down
Change
electric
over
cars,
that.
and that's why we have the a lot of the shit going on that we have today because of oil barons.
You guys didn't know you were gonna get a history lesson today, did you?
Yeah, for real. Covering all sorts of stuff in here. Someone here is saying something about it was Disney Guantanamo. It was Cars 2. Hey, it's
here for cat.
Magical Girl Allison
You
here's for
kinda missed
cat
it,
buttholes.
Allison.
Yeah, you kind of missed it, but I'm sure Allison has. I'm sure Allison heard the big news today about how there was a version of the Cats movie where they were going to have buttholes. and they spent all this money to CG out the buttholes. That's the rumor going around. And Allison is a big Cats fan, as we know.
Is she?
Yeah, Allison's a big Cats fan. We tried to get her on the episode, but it just didn't work out. Yeah, Allison, you can look it up.
Allison, Google it. Google Cats 2019 buttholes.
And then clear your search history.
I was just saying, why not incognito?
Yeah, you wanna hit that incognito
That's
before
where we
you
are in 2020. Kobe died, coronavirus, CGI buttholes.
Yep. God bless.
Hell of a year.
I feel like this is what we were all waiting on. This is the progress we wanted.
Bad things always come in threes, and they cut out the buttholes, so I'm still waiting on the third bad thing.
Yeah, that's true. That was like the aversion to the bad thing.
The world's been wacky ever since Cats
came
came around.
This past week's been a hell of a year.
Yeah, that's been every
saw
week.
it.
That's been every week since 2017, since like January 2017. That's not true. Since November 2016.
It's always like the beginning of every year. It's just like,
I was thinking
okay,
when he
new
started.
year. It's like January 1 through
17.
5,
Yeah,
you're
but
fine.
him getting elected
And
also.
then January 6th through the rest of the year is just
Yeah.
terrible.
We're living in a monkey paw presidency.
Hair
God
wishing
damn.
badly.
Oh,
God damn it.
man.
He likes his paw curls. Well, what are other topics?
Well, I wanted to ask you guys about
Who's that person?
something.
Like Connor?
We'll get to that person. Don't you worry about
What
that.
about Connor?
We'll get to that person. It's not Connor. I wanted to Strike says I wish I could stay home and play Animal Crossing all day. Monkey paw curls. Well, speaking of Animal Crossing, I wanted to share a story that someone shared with me.
This is a good one.
And it's a Reddit post. It's from r/am I the asshole, and someone shared a story, and I want us all to weigh in and as if this person is or is not the asshole.
Cool. Let's do it.
I already know
Other than
we're
the cat's asshole?
Stop it.
Is cat's asshole better than a regular asshole?
fucking Gododin is still on this banana cat butthole.
Wait, I don't know what.
Take a banana, slice it in discs, hold it up like a precious jewel, and then compare it to the appearance of a cat butthole. The similarities are striking. I'm imagining, like, you say hold it precious jewel, I'm thinking suddenly of Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems.
This is how I win.
This is how I win. No, I'm not even gonna get that line out there. Okay, let's check out this story, you guys. Here, I'm gonna.
Can I read it?
Yeah, you can read it. Here, I'm gonna see about throwing it up on the screen for. Oops.
How can we do that?
I'm gonna throw it up on the screen
Let's
for.
just read it. Let's just read it.
Just read it. Okay.
'Cause I think getting up on screen is gonna be too complicated.
Well, it's
Unless-
not because I've already got a thing.
Oh, then do
Yeah,
it.
he's
Yeah.
got a thing to do it.
All right, here we go.
Kind of.
All right, Greg, go for it.
This is from user Imratazbitmo. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to get her own copy of Animal Crossing? So around a month ago, I, 31 male, pre-ordered the new Animal Crossing game that comes out next week. I've been a huge Animal Crossing fan since the original 2001 GameCube version, and to say I'm excited would be an understatement. My girlfriend, 23, female, lives with me, and she has never been a gamer. I've tried to play games with her, but she just isn't good. She has no concept of defense in Rocket League, she can't hold a candle to me in Smash, and the only time she ever wins Mario Party is if she gets bullshit bonus stars.
Unforgivable.
You get the point. Gaming just isn't her thing, which is fine. I still love her, and it's never been an issue. The other day, she apparently stumbled upon a YouTube video of the new Animal Crossing game and started telling me how excited she was to play. I asked her if she was going to purchase another copy and another Switch, and she was stunned. She asked me she asked me why she would need to get her own when I already ordered one, and I explained to her that it isn't the type of game you share. She got all upset and told me that she thought it would be cute to live in the same village and be neighbors, and I told her that simply wasn't the case. There's only one town per game, and I don't want somebody who has zero concept of how the game should actually be played making decisions that negatively affect the town. I don't want her stealing exotic fruits from my orchard that I plan to sell. I don't want her buying furniture from Tom Nook's that I might want to adorn my living room with, and I certainly don't want her placing her house next to mine because she thinks it's cute, thus spoiling what I plan to develop into a lavish estate. She told me that it was just a game, and she thought we could bond over it, but we've never been able to bond over games, so why start now? Of course, she doesn't get that it's a game in which grinding and planning is key. I can't be prevented from carrying out my vision simply because she wants to run around with her dumbass pink-haired character catching butterflies or making a constellation out of our initials, which I know she would do. I told her it was nothing personal, that I still love her, but she started crying and told me she doesn't want to play the stupid game anyway. I kind of feel bad, but I also feel like it's unreasonable for her to just assume she can just insert herself into one of my passions without considering how disruptive doing so actually is. I make more than her, so I even offered to buy her her own console and game, but she said that wasn't the point, and now I'm lost. Am I the asshole?
Well,
Who wants to go first?
Greg, after that lovely reading,
Thank you.
let's start with you.
Fuck yes, you're an asshole!
Not great.
Holy shit!
I mean, yeah, I would tend to agree with that assessment.
Like, I've never played Animal Crossing, but I would assume you could make multiple save files, right? This is the future we live in.
This is the future.
Well, unfortunately, in this one, you can't.
In this specific one?
Well,
Or...
well, because the way that Animal Crossing works is like, basically it would be, well, I guess if like in the GameCube days and stuff, you could just swap in a new memory card.
Exactly, that was what I was thinking.
Yeah. In this specific one, everyone on the same console shares the same island. You can have up to 8 people on it. But, I would argue that, I mean, first of all, I love Animal Crossing. This might just be my sort of play style. I've never been someone who, needs to, I like to fish, I like to catch bugs, I like to do that stuff. I'm not super concerned about building my town to be some elaborate estate.
You're not
as they
trying to
said
100% Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I'm trying to 100% the bugs and stuff, but I'm not trying to
He's not going into it as a city sim where you're trying, or I love playing city sims. I've never played Animal Crossing.
Laughing says you can make your own account on the same console and swap between accounts to have different saves.
Well, I guess Laughing would know since Laughing already has a copy.
Piece of shit.
I
don't even care about Animal Crossing.
He bought the second one already and hasn't.
I'm just mad on his behalf.
Laughing was telling me before the stream started that because of COVID and all this sort of stuff, some of the local game stores broke street release dates, and Laughing's been playing it for 2 days now.
Oh my god!
My outburst at Laughing was super funny because I couldn't care less about Animal Crossing, and that truly came out of me. I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So I don't care about this.
But even beyond all this sort of stuff, I think Allison is hitting it on the head here. It's a girlfriend who loves you and wants to share your interests. How dare she? Right. The whole line about well, we've never bonded over games anyway, so why start now?
Yeah.
It's just
I always think it's if
she's making a fucking effort, you numbskull.
Yeah.
I think about if Becca was suddenly hey, what if we played a Paradox game together, one of these really dense strategies, you teach me how to play it. I'd be that's very sweet, and absolutely we can find a way to do it. Or I could see in a world in which you're hey, this is really sometimes you'd be this is a personal activity for me, I want to be able to do it by myself. Yeah. There's a really nice way to say that hey, this is kind of how I de-stress, we do a lot of stuff together, we can find something else to do together, but I kind of want this to just be for me. But obviously his tone, there's a lot of gendered shit in there too. That's she just wants to go and fucking chase butterflies or something.
She can't.
Well, the provider who makes more money, the creator. Yeah, it's mostly a tone thing. I don't think necessarily saying, hey, this is just for me is inherently an asshole thing, but you'd have to go about it very kindly and gently, and not this fucker did.
And at my house, we're a little bit behind in gaming at my house. My wife and I have been playing Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U, and it's she has a save file on her account that's just her solo game. I have a save file on my account that's my solo game, and then we have another save file on my account that's when we co-op together, and it's the reason he's an asshole is not because he didn't want her fucking up his game. The reason he's an asshole is because the way he went about it was completely wrong. Like you were saying, there is a nicer, gentler way to be I see that you're interested in this. There is a way that we can figure out a way to do this in a way that we're both happy. And not just no, you can't play on my fucking Switch. What the
Right.
fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Like,
Definitely.
Because at that point, it's like, is she your wife or is she like your little sister?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Mom said it's my turn.
And never mind. I won't get into. I was gonna say something about there's probably a generational gap there, but I may be overreaching.
Let's just say the overall thought
See,
is he is an
31 to 23 is.
Oh yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with being with someone much younger or older than you, as long as it's legal. But I feel like there is. There's the 31-year-old hardcore gamer and the 23-year-old I don't really give a shit about games. Like, I didn't see that being together working.
Well, I feel like there's another
From
element.
the start of the post, I was like, oh, this is going terrible.
I felt like there was another element you could see here of like what's so frustrating, and it's so odd to see. Like you see so often with like gamer culture, especially with males, like the gatekeeping aspect of it, and the idea of like gatekeeping to your fiance or your wife. I can't remember what he said.
Girlfriend.
Like the idea of gatekeeping to someone that intimate is absurd and silly in its own regard. But you can see so much of like what it's like. He basically is like, my identity is tied to this game that in many ways is basically like Animal Crossing to me seems like a game that is somewhat like in a way that's really positive. It's a little frivolous. It's a little like light. It's a little almost like less than other sort of games. It might be stuff that's sometimes more traditionally coded as like feminine or coded as like that sort of thing, which is all great and completely fine. But the way I think this guy internalizes that is what he's trying to say is like, no, but I take this shit seriously. Like, I'm not playing some little kid game that's like fun because of the fact that it's so open world and you can do whatever you want. And I'm making this serious. Like, and then all of his accusations to her are basically like these coded sort of things that's like, well, if she turns this into something like female or silly, then it makes me look stupid. Because then I'm playing this game that has the capacity to do that, and like I have to like limit her from even being able to play it because it assaults my identity of taking this seriously. In which like all games shouldn't be taken seriously, but like especially Animal Crossing just seems like it's a game where you can do whatever you want. And that's the appeal of it. But he's like, no, but it's only about doing it my way, and that's what I think.
Deep on this guy.
Well, no, but that's what I think always comes down to when you think about like why gamer culture is so much of the gatekeeping thing, or so much more of that stuff is like, oh, if we let someone else in who isn't so serious about it, then suddenly it makes us seem more frivolous or silly. Like I think you see that with Star Wars, I think you see that with like all sorts of fan culture sort of things, Gamergate. I think that's why there's a lot of that sexism thing. It's like, oh, if our identity is so coded as male that if we let females be in and involved, then that makes us seem like we're more feminine, which is like the anathema of stupid people, assuming that's a bad thing. So that's my back of the envelope psychological analysis of this asshole. And to this girl, probably break up with him. Seems like a sign of a much bigger problem, unless he's willing to like come around and apologize.
To me, the biggest thing that makes him an asshole is like just like what Greg said. She doesn't do this. She's not a gamer, but she's trying
to reach out.
To like, and it's like the whole thing. Like you're 31, you're hardcore. She's 23, she's softcore, no giggity, and she's just like you really seem to like this. So it's like, let me get this thing that I don't even like to do it myself a try. You just shut her down.
Yeah.
So that's when it's like, you can't be like she's the asshole because she was trying with you.
Yeah, totally.
And the thing, like, he could have. I'm just. I have to calm down. Okay, so like, hey, I saw this YouTube video about this game that you've been talking about, and it looks really cute, and I want to play it. Like that's how I imagine she brought it up to him. It's like, especially it looks really cute. I just, in my head, that was a sentence she said, and that was like really triggering for him.
To him, yeah, totally. Like what I was just saying.
Yeah,
exactly. Totally.
And it's a game. Like, right then, he should have been like, all right, cool. You know what would be the best way to play it? We set up 2 TVs right next to each other.
Totally.
And I'll buy another Switch. We can both play it at the same time.
And compare what we're doing.
Yeah, there's a way to
really
not
cute.
be the asshole.
That sounds really cute.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds very cute.
Like, there's a...
Yeah.
If you don't want her fucking up your town...
Yeah.
There is a good... Like, there is a way where you can...
Keep your town,
separate from her, so she doesn't fuck it up or whatever. And she still plays the game.
Right.
And it's still a bonding experience.
Or just have your own game and then have a game that you share. Yeah, there's a myriad of options of which would make sense to do for either free and then. Or
it just sounds like one of those things where it's like your little brother wants to play the game and you unplug the controller, so it's like he thinks he's on level 9.
Yeah, you give him the Mad Catz controller where half the buttons don't work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god, am I doing it? Yeah.
But
I wonder if he interacted with on the post, like if people. Cause I'm assuming everyone called him an asshole.
I'm sure.
I'm curious if he backpedaled or if he like was like, I'll try to fix it.
You know what it is? The guy has no improv skills. Instead of saying yes and let's do it this way. It's no, but here's why you.
He didn't even give a good but though.
Yeah, it's not even no, but it's just
you.
no.
No, but
he
fuck
didn't
yourself.
yes and.
Allison thinks that kind of guy won't change.
I kind of agree. That seems pretty dead set. If he's 31
and still taking something as friendly as Animal Crossing that seriously.
Literally the chillest game of all time.
In his defense, as someone who is in their mid-30s, I was a giant fucking asshole when I was 30, 31. And I may still be somewhat of an asshole. That's up to everyone else to decide. But I think a lot, especially nowadays, a lot of maturity happens from 30 to 35, 36.
Interesting.
For guys specifically. And a lot of that has to do with like delayed adulthood. There's a lot of things in our culture, especially in America, that basically keep people from maturing as early as they used to. Because like, it used to be, you're 18, you're an adult, go out into the world and don't fuck up. And now, it's, for a myriad of reasons, it's like, oh, well, I still live at home and I'm 27 and I work at Starbucks and, not that there's anything wrong with that, but people are less likely to be forced to be rational adults. And I definitely was one of those people. I'm only saying all this because I was one of those people. And I think I have matured a lot, especially in the last 5 years.
Well, that's good. I guess I always was under the assumption. I mean, I haven't gotten there yet, and I don't. All my friends.
As the old man here,
let
me stroke my beard and tell you how it was back in the 1900s.
I'm trying to think. I think my first ever close friends. I mean, I say close friends, not even friends that are that close. My first ever friends have started turning 30. That's we're still in that age range. Colton and I'm 26. Colton's 27. How old are you, Evan?
I'm 21.
Baby.
I did not. When they were passing that law,
14.
When they were passing that,
laughing, I will ban.
When they were passing that law about
again.
The whole you can't buy tobacco products until you're 21, I had no idea that law was even coming up. So it's like all my friends were like, "Oh man, you turned 21 right on time," and I was like, "For what?
For
21 for I'm like what's over the horizon, guys?" So now I have 20-year-old people hanging outside the gas station like, "Hey man, you 21? Get the."
Yeah. Oh, you're
grown. You're grown. Get away from me.
That's so
child. Yeah, 20-year-old man.
Asking you to buy cigarettes. I see alcohol. So.
Cigarettes and whatever.
I never would
they want me
understand
to get out of
asking
there.
strangers to buy you alcohol because it just feels like the easiest way to get them to pocket your money and be like, "Tell a cop, fucker, just walking away." Like, what are they gonna do?
You robbed me. Okay, tell them why I robbed you.
Tell a cop.
Because I willingly handed him this $20 bill with the intent of him buying the alcohol at the age of 17. What's wrong? Why are you putting me in cuffs?
Yeah.
I don't see what I did wrong here.
But to circle around, they do. I've seen it.
Against your strangers. Yeah,
but to circle around to Greg's love of video games. For those who don't know, I'm an intern and Greg is my boss. I walked in on Greg playing Nintendo one time asking for my check, and it's like he did it, but it's like I've never been in an environment. I was just like.
Well, we play video games.
I thought he was doing some real business because the door was closed, and I opened the door and I'm like, "Hey, Greg," and he's just like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
It was in here, right?
No, it was in there. No, on the big TV, and you just
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 checks ago, and I was like, "Hey," so I was just getting my check, and I was getting my check, and he paused the game, goes in there, and I'm looking at the game, and I was like, "Is that Nintendo he's playing?"
that was Asphalt 9 Legends, which I was actually playing off of my phone hooked up to the TV.
See, that's how serious it is. From a phone to a whole TV.
That's the only time the TV gets used.
I was like, wow.
I do take gaming very seriously.
I was like, wow, this is a new environment.
I've started
playing some time.
What's everyone playing right now?
Yeah, what are people playing right now? I mean,
Modern Warfare.
Are you playing that Warzones?
Yeah, PlayStation 4 people they're going in on Warzone. Like my friend, they made Warzone itself free. Like the game still costs money, but Warzone itself is free.
Is like that a portion of like?
Yeah, that's like a mode. It's like a
it.
mode of the
Okay,
game.
okay.
And so you can download that without having to download the whole game. And it allows you to, if you have a PlayStation, it allows you to play with your friends who have Xboxes. So
it's like
everybody can play
cross-platform.
on one thing. Yeah, but the problem with it is that people who don't realize that their friends have lives, because my friend like peer pressured me into getting it. I've had it for like the last 3 weeks. I've played it 3 times. 2 of those times were with him, and I was like, "You dick! You made me download this thing for no reason. I've never had free time to play it." And he's like, "But aren't you glad you have it?" And I'm like, "No."
We got my friend to buy an Xbox just to play PlayerUnknown with us.
Yeah,
back in the day.
PUBG. Ian's doing
best friend.
fine. He makes.
Yeah, Ian works at Airbnb. So
He makes.
He's like one of their head coders.
Fuck ton of money.
He makes a fuck ton of money. But he did get an Xbox just to play PUBG with us. I love PUBG. I haven't played him forever, but
Sam, are you trolling me right now?
what?
Someone from Denver.
Holy shit! Wait, really? Gorfling? Dude, I am so fucking excited for Bannerlord. Holy shit. Like, how they feel about Animal Crossing is how I feel about Bannerlord. I'm so fucking excited for this
I feel like someone is trolling
I love
Sam.
Mountain Blade so fucking much. No,
Is
he mentioned
this
other
Becca?
stuff.
Is this Becca like creating an
He's mentioned
account to
other
troll
stuff,
you?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and Mountain Blade's popular. I fucking love Mountain Blade, dude. One of the best games ever.
This is he's always playing this
God,
game.
I'm so excited for Bannerlord.
And
I
he
got
can't
invited
stop
to the
talking
beta
about the
and
new
I was
one.
playing it last weekend. Yeah, I played the multiplayer beta too. It's awesome. I'm very excited. But anyways, what's Colton playing? I'm playing the Bannerlord beta. I'm also playing No Man's Sky, and that game is beautiful. It's really relaxing. I enjoy it. I'm not really into.
Oh, that's right. It's Sammy's cousin.
Yeah, you told us that earlier.
Well, I forgot about that.
Colton just thinks the our connection of you being from Denver, which I'm very obnoxious about because I love Colorado. And then
We all love Colorado.
Colorado's great. And
For
then
different reasons.
and then Bannerlord, which I won't shut up about either.
You see, the reason I was suspicious is once upon a time when we were first starting streaming here, I
Yeah,
created
fucking
a.
asshole.
Well, I just used my account and I was talking to Sam and I was like,
Did you catfish Sam?
"Oh, I
You
catfished
did.
Sam pretty
I
hard."
was so sad.
But I thought he was aware that it was like me.
I didn't know it was you. I didn't know you're.
Well.
I'm never on Twitch ever.
Well.
Colton started talking about like, oh, we have all these things in common. I was like, oh, this is cool. I made a new like internet friend, and then I realized it was Colton.
It was me. It was me.
Asshole.
So I just thought that was happening again.
I can't
And that was like
tell
my first time like ever doing streams, so I was just like, oh, like there's a lot of like random joy and coincidence that can happen online, and it's not a horrible mire of terribleness.
Whatever.
Well, I mean,
It's not all that.
both of those are still true.
I just
It can
imagine
be both.
Colton.
We've got
just
a
like,
great community here.
I
at
can't
Rock
break his
Punch.
heart.
Yeah, we do.
I can't tell him it's me.
We do. We love our people at RockPunch, but that was before we knew any of you guys, so it was
Yeah.
just Colton making fun of me, and no one
Which
watching,
is-
and nobody watching our Crusader Kings streams. So that was how we started.
Now, if this guy says that he plays Crusader
He
Kings,
said something about Paradox games earlier, so he does.
some sort of online ventriloquism.
What's your favorite Paradox game? Mine is probably EU4. Or Stellaris. I like them
God, you fucking nerds.
both.
What, I don't know Paradox that well.
They make like strategy, like real time. What do they call it? 4X? I don't know what they call it. Just like really dense strategy games.
Gotcha.
And they're really fun. They're fun to lose yourself in.
This is EU3 back in the day.
Yeah, I've only played 4. I've only played the most recent of all of them. Victoria 2 is fun, but that game is intense. That's like almost too dense for me. Alright, what are you playing?
I've been playing Pokemon Sword right now until Animal Crossing comes out this weekend, and then it's just going to be Animal Crossing. I'm also partway through a playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII that I need to get back into. I made it pretty far into it.
You
But,
might want to stream that from now on, you said, right?
Yeah, I might start, if I'm streaming from home and stuff, I might start bringing that game back up, because that was a good one to stream with people. But yeah, that's largely what I'm playing right now. I mean, I just finished, Cuphead, and I wish I had more Cuphead.
Like you even finished the nightmare mode or whatever?
No, I haven't finished the expert run. I've done 2 or 3 bosses on expert, but it's too hard. I'm not going to hold myself to it because it's just too hard.
Sure.
Godelin's only ever played Final Fantasy, the original one. I have played that one as well. That was the first one I ever played and beat, was the original Final Fantasy. And then I played 2 and never beat it, and I played 3 and never beat it. And
Now, when you say 2 and 3, do you mean 4 and 6?
I mean the actual 2 and 3s,
okay.
yeah, because when they came out on Game Boy Advance later, they actually got the numbering. Like,
yeah.
So I mean the actual 2 and 3.
Okay,
cool. Greg.
Yes.
What are you playing through right now? I know something you've played twice.
Well,
that is also a JRPG.
I have played 6 times now the demo for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh wow!
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that game to come out.
Seems pretty coul.
Final Fantasy VII was like, it wasn't the first game I played. Like I had an NES growing up, and then the next console I had was a PlayStation, but I had friends with like Sega Genesis and stuff like that. So I played a lot of games growing up. This game was the first game that that had like an emotional impact on me when that scene happens, which I know there are people who have not played the game, so I'm not going to say exactly what the scene is, but for those who have played the game, you
we'll
know what
spoil
scene
Venom,
it is.
but we won't spoil Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
So like, I have literally just like, I've pulled up the demo and I've get to a certain spot and I'll just angle the camera in a certain way and just look at it. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and like the combat is fluid the way like the recent Batman games have been.
Ooh.
That's an appeal.
But with on top of that, like when your bar fills up, you can cast a spell and stuff like that. It's everything I've ever wanted in a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Laughing says Greg caught feelings at the Honeybee Inn.
Oh man, I caught feelings with that whole Sector 4 section of the game.
Strike's also asking, what's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
Favorite Final Fantasy game? Final Fantasy VII, definitely. No contest. But I would put a tie for 9 and 10 as my second favorite Final Fantasy games. And partially because 10 was just stellar, except for the laughing scene. But now that I'm older, I'm realizing that why that laughing scene is so awkward is because it's supposed to feel forced.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 is one of the games that like nobody played. Like Final Fantasy 9, and it harkens back to like the original Final Fantasy games where like everyone was like a specific class. Like this is a thief, this is a fighter, this is a black mage, this is a white mage. Because like with 7 and I think also with 8, like depending on how you load out your characters, anybody can be anything.
Anyone, yeah.
Which is fine. But it really made me nostalgic for the older Final Fantasies that I played after I played Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm. Oh, and also like I said, Super Mario 3D World, because lighthearted fun is always a good thing.
Yeah. Sorry. I was alerted by a comment in the chat here that is making me even more suspicious of our.
Oh yeah, that he plays Kingdom Come Deliverance too. It's a fun game. I haven't actually finished it. I liked it. I need to keep playing it. I just got sidetracked.
Sam, are you?
But it does sound like this is my soulmate, someone from Colorado.
Or are you just on the iPad over there typing as this person?
Yeah, I'm just like...
yeah, that's what I'm
just
wondering.
steering the conversation to things that I like. Yeah, it's... I got probably about a third of the way through the story. I liked it, though. I like medieval shit a lot, so...
I think medieval stuff's boring.
Yeah. There's not been a good medieval movie besides Lord of the Rings, maybe ever. People like Braveheart, but they're wrong.
I don't like Braveheart.
They're wrong.
Sorry, Mel Gibson's both an idiot and not a good filmmaker. But
I won't go that far. Kingdom of Heaven asks Strike.
Kingdom of Heaven's pretty good. I haven't seen it in forever. Is it still good?
Is it still good?
I don't love Gladiator.
I like Gladiator.
That's fine. That's fine.
Does that count as medieval?
Yeah, that's like Sword and Sandals,
it's like,
though.
it's like Blood and Sandals, but like I don't know. I always wish.
What
I wish
about-
there was like a. No one's ever applied like realism to like that time period, and I want it.
How about Robin Hood Men in Tights?
I haven't seen that.
How have you not
That's a good
seen
one.
No, I
that?
need to. I really love Mel
Achoo.
Brooks. I really love Mel Brooks. I need to see it.
That's one of the greatest medieval movies.
That's true. I do need to see it.
Oh,
It's a good one.
We were just talking how much we love Mel Brooks. We
You
were
haven't-
listening. We were listening to the producers yesterday.
Magical World. Allison loves that movie.
I think I have the opposite opinion of most everyone as far as favorite Mel Brooks movie.
Oh, what is it
your
like?
favorite?
Silent movie?
Most people say Blazing Saddles, and I
Right.
say Blazing Saddles is hot garbage.
What?
It is
No.
not
That
funny.
movie's so good.
It's not good. It's not funny.
I love that movie.
I get that it's supposed to be like on the nose and tongue in cheek and totally on purpose, and that's why it's funny. But it's just not funny to me.
I think it's pretty funny.
The chat's gonna blow up.
Yeah, everyone's gonna.
What did he say?
I haven't seen Spaceballs in a long time. Young Frankenstein's great.
I've never seen Young Frankenstein,
The
but
producers
Spaceballs is
really funny.
I love the producers. Spaceballs is maybe my favorite because I think it was the first one I saw when I was young. Was
Blazing Saddles was
Spaceballs.
the first one I saw. My dad showed it to me. I just love the ending scene where they're all just punching across all the Hollywood sets, and that bit's really funny. There's definitely some not aged well jokes in that sequence, particularly about the gay people, but
Yeah.
I still like that movie.
Well, you know, guys,
What's up?
I don't know.
Do we
movies.
have more on the
We're out
docket?
of more stories.
I do have one more story here. Let's
We do
pull it
have one
up. I've got one more story, and then I want to take it to some audience questions. If anyone in the audience has questions or topics that they want us to chat about. So, anyways, I've got this story here.
Who's
Let
that
me pull
new
it
guy
up.
next to Sam?
Someone else ask?
Does someone?
No,
Oh,
no.
I'm waiting.
oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for my time.
Somebody did ask that.
I just saw the fucking.
So, a professional Call of Duty streamer.
What a world.
His name is FaZe, I believe. No, he's part of the FaZe clan. His name's Carl Reimer. Was streaming Call of Duty one night. And,
Former FaZe Clan.
former FaZe clan member.
probably
yeah.
Let's not
Because of
put
this
FaZe
story.
Clan on blast.
And he said, quote, "Bitch say I ain't got money," while brandishing a
A
gun.
9mm, it looks like.
And to his surprise, pulled the trigger. Did
Probably the traffic
a
crowd.
desk pop as we
That's
say.
the other guy.
I saw that movie the other day for the second time.
Funny movie.
Please pause, Strike. You're onto something, man.
You forgot the part where he opened a can of Coors, so we know how classy he is.
Oh well.
I like
Yeah. How could I?
Excuse me,
Don't malign
Coors Light.
Coors Light.
I wonder if Coors is the drink that people always drink when they accidentally shoot guns. Because I'm also imagining there's an FBI agent in Colorado. Coors is from Colorado. Who he was doing the backflip. He was doing a backflip in the club and the gun fell out of his pocket and they tried to pick it up and he shot someone in the crowd. And I'm guessing he was also drinking Coors. I have no evidence of this, but a
That sounds like a Coors
strong
activity.
feeling.
What?
Correlation is Coors.
Jesus.
Question. I have a question. Why are
There's
you
some
trying to
drink
do a backflip in a club?
He was doing a dance move. And why are you doing a backflip in a
How
club
empty is this?
as an
club?
FBI member?
Yeah.
When you have
There's
your...
a room on the dance floor.
And he
back,
also, like-
back up.
The crazy thing is, like, the dude didn't have the gun. Like, you expect, like, an FBI agent or a cop. I mean, let alone,
Here.
if you're off duty, don't fucking bring a gun to a club. Just don't bring a gun to a club ever, no matter who you are, probably,
Yeah.
ever. Just don't do it. But the dude, he wasn't even like he had it in a holster. He had the motherfucking thing in, like, his back of his pants. Like a fucking, like, shitty movie. And, like, he does a backflip, falls out of his pocket, grabs it, and then, like, because guns don't go off when you drop them. It went off when he tried to pick it up to cover up his mistake, and then clearly the safety must not have been on.
Bad trigger.
And it was fucking cocked, which is stupid enough that he has it primed in his fucking back of his pants, and then he shoots some person. This is our law enforcement.
So yeah,
Everybody.
like
God bless.
Greg was saying, either how empty is this club, or how excited was everybody else to be just like willingly
It was
move
a
out of the
crowded
way
bar.
and make a room
I'm
for the
gonna
Well, we
back
say
flip.
club. He was like a middle-aged white dude, so he's not like hitting like
No,
the
he was
club.
younger. He was
club.
younger. No, it was a club. It was. He was like a younger guy. It was. You can watch the video. There's a video of this happening.
That is hilarious.
And it's nuts.
She's like, everybody move out of the way. He's about to do a backflip. Oh my god.
Fan toss is not happening.
I've never seen this before.
Because I think he did the backflip successfully is the crazy thing, but then the gun fell out of his pocket, obviously.
So how successful is it really?
I was gonna say,
if
a gun falls out of your pocket when you're back,
I don't
did
think
you successfully
I
backflip?
think that's being recorded as an L.
If you're only a skateboarder when there's no one around, are you really a skateboarder?
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was very stupid, and that's what this reminds me of with the stupid Twitch stream.
So yeah, the guy was. This
But yeah,
guy,
so what happened? It was like
Sorry,
desk
I got
pop off, and then we
sidetracked.
started.
We're talking about Coors. We're talking about Coors beer, who's super sponsored.
What's this guy's name? Carl Reimer?
Carl Reimer, not Carl Reiner, but Carl Reimer.
Is this his real name or is this his handle?
You know, let's find out what he has to say about it.
Oh god.
Oh wait. Oh shit! We're watching the clip.
Last night, I
There's dogs back there.
This is explanation.
ruined the rest of my life and years of hard work.
He doesn't use
Last
any of that
night, I
exercise
was
equipment
being
back there.
stupid on my stream, as I normally am, but I'll just kind of roll this clip so that you can understand if you haven't seen it already.
Did you shoot a brick of cocaine?
God damn.
What the fuck?
I'm guessing that's not his first.
He also says my savings account, and he has an apostrophe between G and the S.
Oh.
Whether I was
He's
sober
clearly not the
or
brightest bulb.
intoxicated, guns are not a toy.
Can we roll that? I want to see that again.
Yeah, let's
It feels like that causes little
Run that
damage
back,
as it
DJ.
possibly could
Last
have.
night I was being stupid. Trying to roll this clip so that you can understand if you haven't seen it already.
Bits
Oh, he
for
shot
tits
something.
and clips. Everything about this dude is a fucking, like,
shot something.
licking Mountain Dew off a
It-
concrete
it-
floor. Fucking asshole.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
It's
I
what?
don't
That
think.
Molly gotta come in.
Is that a
and see
thing?
it.
I don't think.
I
that-
don't think it's
What
wrong.
I
I don't think that the powder was Coke. I think it was like protein powder.
Yeah,
Which is-
like he shot something
because
with
there
the
was a
last
bunch
thing.
of like big ass jars of protein powder in
I love how
in
that's
that.
like the first things, like that's how low Sam thinks of this guy off rip is like he's shooting cocaine.
I don't know. I mean, he
You're not
seems
even
like an
shooting it
asshole
like-
in every other way.
All right, we got Molly here. We're going to show Molly this clip.
This is a Twitch streamer, Molly, a professional Twitch streamer.
This is one of our stories today of
Trying to roll a stream as I normally am, but I'll just kind of roll this clip so that you can understand if you haven't seen it already.
his reaction after when he realizes the full
The
extent of what he's
compression on
done.
that mic is really good because you can't hear the
Yeah,
gun
that's
go
what I was
off
thinking.
all.
Yeah.
Maybe he did it after the
I
fact.
was clearly intoxicated.
Good comedic timing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You want to sit down?
Yeah, okay.
All right, we got Molly. We got Molly back. Thank you for sitting in, Evan.
Y'all welcome.
Let's get you got Molly back in the game here.
Hello.
Let's see what's the chat saying about this. Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh my lord, look at the overlay bits.
Yeah, my whole thing about that is like there's a rule with like cinematography that's like try to like add a lot of depth to your image. That there's a lot you could look at if you're getting sidetracked and stuff. And like he did it. There's so much information about what a fuckhead he is in that frame. I don't think you could have a frame that's more densely populated with things that make this dude a fucking asshole than that frame. Like, if we jump back to it. Like, the fact that, like, the tits for clits thing, for one thing. The way his room is decorated, like, he has that, like, shitty white boy thing where it's, like, it's fucking tapestries all over. The fact that, like Greg said, I don't know if he uses the workout equipment, but the fact that it's very...
too skinny.
He could. I don't know. But, like, the fact that, like, that is very firmly
Prominent.
populated in a place in the image. Like, he placed it, like, on the third... You know, which is like the place your eye is naturally drawn to. It's actually like kind of good composition, but it's all definitely drawing your eye.
It's
to
I
the
can't
fact,
believe you're-
composition of
but it's
how
definitely drawing.
fuckhead he
It's
is.
definitely drawing your eye to the fact that he's
I
like,
mean, the
oh,
fact
this
that
feels
you're
most
thinking
prominent.
this guy is thinking about composition.
I don't
Yeah,
think
for
he
real.
is.
Like he gives
He just
two
walked
shits.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
he's,
no, he,
but
he
he's
clearly
he's putting the workout equipment in a place where it's very prominently
he
noticeable.
clearly set up the scene. Like, because if you look at the Dragon Ball Z giant ass mouse pad on the desk, it's faced so that it's not upside down for the camera.
It would be upside down for him, though.
Yeah. So he's clearly set up this scene on purpose.
And my whole thing is, like, he might not know, like, oh, this is compositionally what's right, but he puts it there. He's like, yes, this is good and prominent in frame.
Right, exactly. People will see
people will see
badass
my
punching
gains.
bag.
Yeah, totally.
Strike says that we need a show in which Sam critiques streamers'
I'm so down.
composition.
That sounds
Oh my
amazing.
god, that's yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
God.
do, like, a deep dive, like, pull out the
We'll just get
thing.
screen caps and let him go to town.
Oh, that sounds great. I never watch Twitch either. I just don't.
Well, now you've got a reason
And now I have
to.
a reason to.
That's maybe since since all the movie theaters are shut down,
Yeah, I'll
that's
have
what
to
we'll
start
review on
doing
Drive-In
that now.
Movies the next couple months now. Is
Twitch streams.
yeah,
So
we
what-
watched this Twitch stream and
So I have a
I'll tell you.
question. I have a question for all of us and maybe the chat, which would be like with everything being shut down, what are you most sad about being like shut down? Like what's the change from normalcy that's most
Movie theaters.
upsetting? Yeah, okay, that's you.
That's me.
Fucking grocery stores.
Yeah, well, way to get realistic about it.
I'm sorry. It took me an hour to find a gallon of milk over
Yeah.
the weekend.
Do you start drinking like soy milk? Because people don't drink
No,
it.
because that's disgusting and not real milk.
It's not that bad, and
It's
you'll
also
be
not
able
real
to find
milk.
it. I don't know. It's helped
Unless
me.
it's whole milk, it's not real milk.
Ugh,
You sound like
I
my
like
sister.
I'm
it's
sorry.
easier for me. I'm not a milk person.
Mm.
I used to be, but Colton knows. But then I kind of stopped.
That used to what? Drink chocolate milk all
I
the
used to drink
time?
chocolate milk like every meal because I was trying to
Because
put
you were
on.
a
It's true.
child.
Because I was trying to put on weight.
He Sam
I was
drank
trying
chocolate milk
desperately to put on weight.
That's
endlessly.
And I had no money. I had no money in college.
Listen, in college, Sam's diet consisted of egg sandwiches,
Peanut
eggs
butter.
eggs that he would always burn for the first few months we lived together because he never thought like, oh, put some oil or
I
something
didn't
in
know.
the
I
pan.
was
Or
learning how
turn
to
the
be an
heat
adult.
down.
It was that period of like learning how to be an adult, and I was like, I just thought eggs always had that smell.
Oh my god.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Now I know. Now, of course, it's very stupid.
I thought eggs just had a burned smell.
That's what I thought.
Eggs are just black.
Yeah,
I mean,
eggs just taste really bad, but apparently they're good for you.
And my bedroom was right by the kitchen, so I would wake
Yeah,
up
it
every
wasn't
morning
good
to the
for you.
wonderful
Just
smell
smells
of,
burnt
of
eggs.
burnt
Burning
proteins.
fuck.
And
And you would eat peanut butter
peanut butter and honey
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Peanut butter and honey sandwiches.
We had
and
that $5 meal from the meat market that saved us.
we had this meat market, Stars Meat Market in
We
Tallahassee, that was right up the road from us. And man, you could go in. They had the pick 5 deal where you could get 5 for 20 for each. You could pick 5 different cuts of meat.
for $5.
Each was $5 each.
And it was like ground beef, shitty steak, shitty pork chops.
It was all pretty shitty.
It was all pretty shitty, but it was like a lifesaver when you were trying to like.
Yeah, in
when
college.
when I was working out like a ton and trying
Easy
to
Mac.
eat protein on that.
What
Easy
Strike
Mac.
said. I ate so much. I basically lived on Easy Mac and Pop Tarts when I was in college.
I ate a lot of pasta.
I ate a lot of pasta.
Yeah,
Pasta's good.
but I just
Yeah.
like it was all I could afford. But
Frozen
I was trying
chicken
to eat
nuggets.
like 3,000 or 4,000 calories a day on like $400 a month total, so for like including every expense I had. So I was like,
Ramen.
it was hard. College was hard, guys. We weren't allowed
Sam,
to work.
when the dining hall would close early, Sam would.
I would have panic attacks.
Yeah.
Like that's the closest I've ever gotten. Well, I've probably gotten closer since then, but that was I had close to panic attacks because I would just be like, I'm not gonna have a way to eat if I don't get to the dining hall before it closes at 7:00.
Instead of having that dream where Sam like didn't study for a test, he has the dream where the dining hall's closed for no reason.
Yeah, and like, I don't have $1 to my name, so I'm not gonna be able to eat food for 14 hours. Thank God.
Yeah.
Adult now and have money. Have marginally more money. What are you most worried about closing, Molly? Or sad?
I'm not so sad about stuff closing. I just don't want to be stuck in my apartment.
Doing nothing.
My 500 square foot apartment with nothing to do.
You know what you could do?
Huh.
Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out on April 12th.
Oh.
Run out, get yourself a PS4.
3 weeks from now.
Listen, I just secured all the stuff I need to stream from my house a few minutes ago. So
Molly will be ready to go.
I'm
all have streaming
ready.
We should all have streaming set up separately.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sad.
like,
I'm sad about my climbing gym closing, which Which makes sense. They took way too long. They had a huge competition of like hundreds of people this past weekend. It was fucking stupid.
Allison's
Very
also
stupid.
Allison's also disappointing in the closing of her gym. She was saying in the chat.
I'm just kidding.
She's saying she's not.
I love climbing, and it's such a good release when you're stressed out about stuff, and I don't have it now. I'm sad. That's okay. I have video games.
I hope there's a way to continue Perzel Thursel Skype call or something. We'll
do something on Thursdays. We don't think.
I'm
it's
tired of
necessarily
just talking to
Thursday,
my
but-
cats.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
At least they have
Allison, come
Buttholes.
over and talk to our cat. Teach her things.
Yeah, come teach Lola
Come
how
teach
to
Lola
be.
things.
Allison, come hang out on the punch bowl.
Actually, yeah, Allison, if you want to come on Wednesday, if you feel safe coming to just our apartment near you, we could do this from our house.
Yeah, we're very healthy.
Yeah. As long as everyone's healthy and we're not allowed around at-risk people.
They've got a lot of soap because they never wash their hands.
It's true. We've never once used soap. But we have it in case
Colton,
someone
I
wants
believe,
it.
washes his hands.
Thank you, Greg.
I wash my hands. I'm getting better at it.
I remind him.
Yeah, I'm doing
I would
pretty
like to
well.
point out again that you are how old?
26.
And you're getting better about
I
washing
am
your
getting
hands?
better about it. I don't get sick very often. Oh, right, Allison. But Allison, there's not a rush on those. You should come hang out. But there's especially not a rush now, let me tell you.
The probe, though, that comes out.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
The probe is the thing. I
The
thought you were
probe
talking
is
about
coming
our
out.
The
client
other
stuff.
thing that I am most, sad that is closed, and this is just as a parent, is my kid's school.
Yeah, that's
she's-
gotta be tough.
They were like, it's going to be closed for at least 2 weeks, but we don't know how long. And it's like, if it were only 2 weeks, then they'd be back for a week and then spring break. So we know it's going to be at least 4 weeks of no school.
So that's a lot of, yeah.
And then she's going to have to make up for it and have a short summer. So it's just, my wife is the one who's at home with them, so she's the one who's going insane.
Yeah, that's gotta be a whole new
Yeah.
world.
My
of
sister is
difficulty.
I'm
slowly
sorry, my
losing her
things were
mind.
like serious. You guys are like, I'm sad movie theaters are closed. I'm like,
Yeah, I was
I'm sad real things
life
are
before
closed.
children. you
No,
know.
my sister has 2 kids, and she's slowly losing her mind with school closed.
yeah, it's and they send home a list and like books and papers and things like that. They're like, do this on this day and this on this day, and my wife and I are like,
It's like a full-time job now.
Rock,
You
paper,
have to
scissors?
keep track of it.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's
but at least all the other kids are out of school, so we're just like, go outside.
yeah, just get them out there.
Yeah.
Do we want to see if people in the chat have questions or topics of discussion?
Yeah, I want to open it up to the people in the chat. We've got a little more time here before we're going to call it. But yeah, if anyone's got questions, concerns, things that you want us to talk about, any funny videos, I don't know. Funny videos. Greg's looking.
I'm furiously pulling up my YouTube history.
What have I seen
But
on
yeah.
YouTube recently?
We're gonna.
I feel like Becca sent us something pretty funny yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we're always seeing funny shit around here.
We're hilarious.
Funny people. I do like that list. That list of things John Wickstrom has overheard, and we can talk about that for a second. That's fun.
That seems real inside baseball.
Is it? No, it's too much. We have a friend who, he's a very good screenwriter. He has got on the blacklist and stuff before, and he posted a bunch of stuff that's like really ridiculous things. They had to turn his office into a nursery, so he's been working out of LA coffee shops writing. So he just has written down all the most ridiculous things he's overheard while working in coffee shops in LA, and they're pretty fucking funny. I'll send them to you, Molly. I think
Cool,
you'd
yes.
Appreciate it. They're really, 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 really funny.
Let's see here. Let me consult my list.
It's okay. I have a video recommendation for anyone who's into Pokemon.
Alright.
It's 30 minutes long, so I'm not going to have it played here. But on Polygon, Brian David Gilbert did the perfect Poke Rap, in which he rapped all 817 or however many Pokemon there are.
Aw.
It's really good, and you should watch it.
All right.
Just
Check
to
it
talk
out.
to the chat, thanks, Thantos and Dwarfling. That's very sweet. This is our first one. This one's actually really fun to do. We have to be less focused on a game, which I'm into.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's just about us. It's about us and our
talking about
friendship.
nonsense.
It's about friendship, really.
Yeah. But you know what? What you guys should do is Strike or Laughing. Someone throw up that Discord link. You guys should join the Discord.
Yeah.
And we're in there all the time, chatting and having a good time. But we have in the Discord a specific channel dedicated to the Punch Bowl, where I would love to see if you guys come across stories and stuff like that throughout your week. Just drop them in there. And
I think just about everything we talked about this episode was provided by you guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Almost everything, yeah.
Because most of the stuff we would end up talking about, we talk about in Exhaustion because we work and live together.
Now, cat buttholes, that was something I brought to the table.
Is Colton's personal touch.
My speciality.
Colton's special sauce. Special sprinkle all over the conversation.
Thank you, Colton.
So we're watching that Pokemon video?
I would need Greg to send that to me somehow.
The 30-minute long one?
Sup, Nauseum?
Hey, Nauseum. Listen, I think next week we should bring, to the next episode, we should bring a banana. And we should slice up a banana.
Unfortunately, it actually is probably... So I don't know if you guys noticed this when I went to the grocery store. It was very, selective what things were gone. So Becca and I, when we're at home, we just mostly eat vegan. I'm not strict about it, but I just, try to reduce it. So none of that stuff was gone, which just shows people's assumption of necessity, which is nice for me. But
I would private message you with it.
I do not know.
And also produce was really weird. Produce was gone. Apples and oranges and stuff, fine. Bananas, potatoes, and onions completely gone.
Yep.
Bread completely
My
gone.
onions.
Yeah, I know you like onions. It's a bummer. Peppers there.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Peppers there. Green beans and shit gone.
I'm sending it to you on Facebook.
It was very odd.
Oh man, that's probably the worst way to send it to me.
I don't know what a good way to send it
the whole nauseum, the whole premise of this episode was the butthole cut. So
Yeah, the butthole. That was honestly, we got into it way faster than I ever wanted to, but I'm glad that we dived.
Yeah, we got into the butthole way faster than we planned.
We dived right in, you know, and I'm glad.
We dove right in. We're a little messy now, but we're happy we did it.
All right, now you took it too
It's
far.
too far. I'm sorry.
You should be ashamed
I'm
of yourself.
sorry. That's pretty funny.
Where's people in the chat from tonight?
Wait.
We got these new people
We're
like
whispers, okay.
Thantos and Godog. I don't know how to say it. Oh well, we know Gotta Kudu.
Denver.
Gotta catch them all from Denver.
Here, he sent us the thing.
I sent you a thing as
All right,
a whisper on
I've got it. Give me just a
So,
sec here.
Gwyfelling, you don't have to say if you don't want, but where are you from in Denver, and where did you say you worked? You don't have to say where you worked, but I'm just curious if it's somewhere like a restaurant I would know. My family lives off Colfax and Garrison up in Lakewood.
Probably don't want to give out
Wow.
too specific of an address.
That's an area.
I mean,
It's an area. Just Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm having trouble right now with getting this thing to show up for me, but we will table that and bring it back in the future because right now we have a question.
go to. Okay.
Well, here.
Go there.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how to.
top right next to the logo. One more over. Other way.
I don't know left from. Oh.
Okay, so you're in kind of South Denver.
Is that
That's
you?
cool. I'm jealous. I miss
No.
that part of town. You're kind of near Washington Park, right?
I'm on there as Amp Greg.
Right.
You may need to.
Yeah, I used to hang out. I used to work at Park Burger on
Maybe to, refresh.
Pearl Street
Yeah.
near DU, if you know where that is.
Oh, now it says there's 17.
That's where I worked before
I
I
don't know.
moved out here. That was how I saved up money to move to Atlanta. I miss Denver so much.
Boom.
There it is.
All right, let's see if we can get this going here.
But I grew up also kind of near Steamboat. My family moved back and forth.
It's playing already.
All right. First, before we dive into this, we'll end on this video.
Okay.
But what I would like to do first is to address
This question.
Thantos asks, question, thoughts of how bad this coronavirus is going to affect people getting hired or looking for a job, surviving on unemployment.
Well,
UI stands for unemployment?
unemployment insurance.
Oh, right. I'm caught up. In my head, it'd be UE on
Unemployment. I get what you're saying.
Anyway.
Unemployment.
I think it's kind of hard to say because I think there's still no telling how. I mean, it's going to get bigger from here, I think, and crazier. But like, I mean, I still think it's hard to tell like how long this is going to necessarily go on.
To me, I feel like a lot of what it's going to come down to is the extent to which we can actually get the government to provide probably just actually a cash stimulus to people because. We just need to be able to actually stimulate like real need in the economy, so it's actually going to have to be money going out to common people to let alone help them not like be in trouble, but also to have money to actually put back into the economy.
So what you're saying is we need to seize the means of production.
Maybe. I mean, we don't need to get too far into that, but I'm more lean that way for sure. But I do think that like something that actually is realistic and might have actually just been passed. I got a notification, but I didn't see to what extent. But we need to actually just be giving cash to people, either through like a tax rebate or something else. Because we're concerned because most of what we do, commercially, like most of our bread and butter for businesses, we hire subcontractors on film jobs, whether that is creative projects or whether that is actually like commercial stuff. And unfortunately, like, we have one more job this Saturday, but then ethically and just sort of realistically, we can't really keep doing jobs. So we're not giving our normal subcontractors work, and they're not finding work because all the other productions are shutting down.
Well, and also people aren't asking us to do work for them.
Right, no, totally. And, like, for us, it's like, thank God, like, personally, like, we're on salary and stuff, and a lot of our stuff is going to keep going during the crisis in terms of, like, just entertainment stuff that we do, but... I can feel if you're a restaurant worker or if you are someone who's like a subcontractor and work for yourself and stuff. Fuck, like I really feel for you guys, and I hope the government really helps get you what you need. And I can say right now is a really good time to like call your Congress people, call people in charge, and try to explore the impetus for. We have to set up more of a robust safety net for these sort of people and make sure they're not left out to dry. That's my take.
Dark days.
Also, pay attention to who you're voting for and pay attention to who actually will be trying to implement government policies that will stop this from happening.
Yeah, if things weren't bad enough in the midst of all this, there's an election.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
but,
real.
you know, in the future, pay attention to really who you're voting for because having competent people in government and having an actual robust government safety net is what helps specifically against stuff like this because I think it'd be really hard to make an argument that private industry protects from stuff like this, and you have to really think about government needing to be robust enough to deal with it. So,
and wash your fucking hands.
And wash your hands. And social isolation is a good idea.
That goes
and make sure you vote, damn it. That's another thing. Thank you, Strike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good call on that one, Strike. Hello to Armyman 2009-0622 says hi from the Philippines. Hopes we are all safe. We are all safe right now in this room.
We are all safe.
Surprise for you guys. Once we wrap this today, I'm actually going to lock the door and bolt it shut, and we're all going to stay in this room all together.
My wife will knock down this building and cut your skin off.
Those metal.
Listen, a strong breeze could knock down this building potentially. Something tells me it's a nice building we got here, but something tells me
it's made of brick.
That's true.
There are some bricks.
I believe more in the robustness to this building than I believe our apartment, which is currently crackling with electrical energy. Right
yeah,
now.
we're
our apartment's fuse box is just having a nice little noise going.
It's fixed now. Hopefully.
No, it's not.
It's
started
not.
doing it again last night. We
Really?
Were calling again. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know it's not great.
Jeezels. All right. Let's see here. It's raining outside in real life. It's raining in Animal Crossing. This is witchcraft. Laughing. I've had about enough of you.
Pantos, we agree, but we're gonna move off political stuff.
Yeah, we gave Sam his 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, Sam had his time to shine. Colton was trying to reenact the Mask of the Red Death in the RockPunch offices. I don't understand that reference.
It's Poe, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, but
Anyway.
Riot. Yes, more streaming. So yeah, guys, we are going to definitely be doing some more streaming in the office. It might just keep an eye on that Discord for our schedule. Things are kind of be a little loosey-goosey.
We will try to fill our usual time slots with shows. They just might not be the usual shows. But they might, like Molly, for example, will be doing something on Monday, we believe.
Yes.
But it might be Nancy Drew again. as opposed to what it will be Nancy Drew as opposed to what it was in the past. Colt and I will still try to do something next Thursday. We don't think we can do something tomorrow, unfortunately, because we have to get this last job done. But we'll try to do something on Thursday. Greg will still be doing the Pokemon stream tomorrow. And then next Wednesday, we'll try to do a punch bowl thing.
Yes. Laughing you missed it, I think my mom is going to stream with me.
It's true.
Yeah.
Molly and Mom stream.
The Nancy Drew
Molly and Mommy.
Nancy Drew video games, not the books or the show.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, sorry. My bad.
Perzel Thursel is tough because Sammy's husband was just sick, not with Corona, but with...
Yeah.
So she's being smart and self-quarantining.
I've been told it's not Corona, but I don't know how much I believe that.
Well, either way, he is fine, but they're being smart and self-quarantining, so we don't have the ability to do Perzel Thursel this week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Perzel Thursel might be sort of on hold until we get a better idea of how things are going to work out.
With
yeah.
Sammy, yeah.
But I know I'm going to try to get an Animal Crossing stream going because I love Animal Crossing, and that'll be new and fun. You guys can see my town, and we can visit your town if you're also getting Animal Crossing, but not Laughing, because Laughing's a traitor to us all.
If I am home all next week, maybe I'll try to stream a Paradox game or No Man's Sky or something. It'll be fun. I'll be playing video games probably anyway, so
Well,
I'll stream it if I have all stuff at home.
We'll see how things go, but let's end. So anyways, again, just before we hit this video up and end our stream for the day, follow that Discord. Strike, get that in there. Follow us on the Discord. Come interact with us there. Share stories that you want us to talk about next time. Check out our YouTube channel. We just posted. It should have posted or is posting a new drive-in movies. We went and saw Sam and I went and saw Onward.
We did that one.
Yeah, we did it.
Probably because it feels like truly that was like just before Corona started, so that probably felt like it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it feels
and it
a lot.
Probably was 8 days ago.
It's been it's as Greg said earlier in the stream. The last week's been a long year.
A long fucking year, dude.
But yeah, so yeah, check us out. Check us out our content. And yeah, just keep posted to the Discord for updates on when things are happening. And yeah, let's check out this video, you guys, that Greg sent.
Greg sent this. Okay. Thantos, if you want to talk to me about political stuff, hit me up on the Discord.
Full screen.
I'll talk to you forever.
Full screen it. I just want to make sure. Get that sound going.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountain, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home.
Sam. I love this cover of Country Roads.
Scottish bagpipes.
It's from the second Kingsman movie.
Oh!
I haven't seen it yet.
I do remember that now.
2 weeks
Country roads, take me home to the place I
That's amazing.
That's pretty great.
That was a really good one. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Thantos.
Yeah, thank you so much, Thantos.
But yeah, seriously, hit me up on Discord. My name on the Discord is SammyBoy005.
Only one.
Or Sam Spade 005.
Greg, your camera's gone out for some reason.
Uh-oh. That one?
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
why.
Somebody unplug it.
Oh,
I don't think so.
maybe that camera acts up sometimes, I
Who
guess.
knows?
Oh well, they don't need to see me.
Well-
Wait. I'll just come over here.
I just like talking about politics, Thantos, and like philosophy, so there we go.
Sam wasn't trying to be political. But yeah, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of the Punch Bowl. I'm super excited about the show. I think this was a really fun time. What do you guys think?
I had a
I
great
like it,
time.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's Sam Spade 005. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone out there, stay safe, stay well,
Seriously.
stay inside. Don't go spreading diseases and germs, and don't go breaking my heart.
Go spreading diseases. I was trying to think of waterfalls.
And yeah, we understand what you're trying to do,
Don't go
Sam.
chasing COVID-19.
Yeah, I like that one more. All right, we'll talk to you guys about buttholes later.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time on the Punch Bowl. Hopefully, we got to get some graphics at some point.
Yeah,
but,
we definitely need graphics.
But yeah. All right. You guys see you in the Discord. Until next time.